I'd like to call to order the Plan and Zone Commission meeting of March 6th. I see that we do not have a public hearing tonight. We'll move into our regular meeting agenda. Roll call, please.
Connell.
Present.
Hepner.
Here.
Ingram.
Present.
Kelling. Here. Lammers.
Present.
Manus.
Here.
Martinez. Med.
Here.
Quinn.
Here.
Reinhardt.
Here.
Tallman. Here. We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Tallman. Report of City Council activity.
Nothing to report.
Thank you, Matt. Secretary's report.
Move the report.
All in favor of the Secretary's report, signal by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Hearing none, it will pass forward as written. Report of Comp Plan Committee. Matt?
We're still reviewing the first draft. We actually received this week a draft zoning map. Again, real preliminary, but staff's going to spend a little bit more time with it before we have some more advisory committee meetings.
Thank you, Matt. Move on to zoning activity. Commissioner Tallman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one case under new business. That's case number REZ 18-01. Requested Dave Meyer on behalf of Tom Swanwick doing business as Forest View LLC for rezoning on 1.19 acres of property known as Lot 2 of Ride High 2nd Edition, located on the south side of East 46th Street between Grand and Tremont Avenues. The rezoning is from C2 General Commercial District to R6M Planned Unit Development to construct attached townhouses on individual lots. 10 units are proposed. Staff recommends that the City Planning and Zoning Commission accept the findings and forward case number REZ 18-01 to the City Council for approval, subject to the following two conditions, and I so move.
Second.
Case number REZ 18-01 has been moved and seconded for discussion. Wayne?
As you see here, this is the location of the property, East 46th Street, Grand Avenue, Tremont. This is the Emergency Operations Center. Public Works Center is over here. It is zone C2. It is unclassified, but that's one of the conditions that we'll be dealing with. This is the proposed concept plan. Fairly simple. The other condition basically moves this driveway over to in this general location. These would be the elevations, both the front and then the rear. And then it does fit with the surrounding development, and staff is recommending approval subject to the land use map being updated. There's a segment on there that was, for whatever reason, left blank. And that the center access point be moved as far eastward as practical. And there's some topographic issues there that are involved.
Thank you, Wayne. Commissioners have any questions? Commissioner Manus.
Wayne, I'm wondering, are we moving it so there'll be a separation from the access to the north?
No,
Or is it because of the topography?
it's more of an access to the west. There should be about a 200 and some feet separation from that.
Okay. Okay, the one going north.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me go back. This
Oh,
access,
okay,
moving
that
this
one
over to
too.
here.
Okay.
Yes, these are a little bit close to that access on the north, but by moving it over here, you're basically separating those two.
Okay. Thank you. Just
Any additional questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Connell.
Yes.
Hepner.
Yes.
Kelling. Yes. Lammers.
yes.
Manus.
Yes.
Med.
Yes.
Quinn.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Tallman, yes. The motion carries, Mr. Chairman. That concludes the zoning activity report.
Thank you, Commissioner Tallman. Commissioner Connell, subdivision activity.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have one item tonight. Case number F 18-02, final plat of Betts Corporation, 2nd edition, located west of Wisconsin Avenue and north of Telegraph Road, containing 7 lots on 62.86 acres MOL. The property is zoned both R1 low density dwelling district and A1 agricultural district.
Okay, there was an error and there was a correction that was made in the packet.
Description.
Oh,
Here, why don't you reread this? This is the correct
oh,
description.
okay. I guess I had the wrong description.
Yeah, there was an earlier one put out and then that was corrected, like within about a couple hours after the first one was
Oh,
out.
all right. This is the one I received in the mail, so. Case number F18-02, final plat of Betts Corporation, second edition, on 1.21 acres, more or less, located abutting to the east of 741 West 53rd Street, containing one lot. The property is zoned R1 low-density dwelling district. Okay. Staff recommends the plat be submitted as a two-lot subdivision incorporating the remainder of the unplatted land. The recommendations, there are three options for the commission, and I'm moving the third one, return the plat to be resubmitted as a two-lot subdivision incorporating the remainder of the unplatted land. No additional fee will be charged, and I so move.
Case number F18-02 has been moved and seconded for discussion. Wayne?
Okay, this is the location of the property. The plat that was originally submitted deals with just land up in this area, but by separating out that portion from the remainder of the parcel triggers our subdivision ordinance that says you need to incorporate the entire property. It is zoned R1, it is residential general in our land use plan. This was the original plat. Doesn't meet our requirements. Oh. And basically what we've done here is that we have received this morning, didn't have time to update this, we have received a new plat with the two-lot subdivision. So what staff would be recommending is that this get tabled for one cycle so that we can send that two-lot subdivision out for further review by our technical committee, and then we'll have a recommendation back at our next meeting.
Before we entertain a recommendation for tabling, does anybody have any questions? As is, Commissioner Tallman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Wayne, I'm just guessing with the absence of the applicant, they're aware of this recommendation and are okay with the tabling?
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kelling. Your microphone.
Similar question, the applicant is okay with a two-plat subdivision, two lots subdivision as opposed to one?
Yes, they submitted that this morning.
The applicant did,
Yes.
okay. And what are the downsides or the upsides to the applicant as to make it a two-lot rather than a one-lot? I mean, are there the benefits, disadvantages to him to have it this way?
Well, the first disadvantage is, yeah, you've got to survey a larger area to begin with. The advantage would be later on, you're dealing with a replat. So you can cut that one lot replat into any number of lots without having to go through necessarily a preliminary plat review. But we'll see how that works out yet.
The replat would be of Lot 2?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
if at some future date, and that we don't expect any development to be occurring here within the foreseeable future.
And what are the ramifications to the applicant where the subdivision rules come into play as far as maintenance of the stream bed there and everything? I mean, that whole thing has been pretty much ignored for years on end. Does this trigger a lot of maintenance requirements now on the part of the of both parties, so the owner of Lot 1 and then the owner of what will become Lot 2?
I don't have a specific answer for you, though I can do some hypotheticals in that by putting the drainage way into an easement, that easement can work to the giving the maintenance responsibility potentially to the city for that drainage way. It can, basically, as a drainage way on someone's property, they're responsible for its maintenance now, whether it's in a plat or not. This may give them an additional option of having somebody else do that maintenance.
But for all these years, there's been no requirement of maintenance. Is that a fair statement?
Well, I won't say there hasn't been any requirement for maintenance. I'd have to talk to our stormwater people regarding that. The property owner would be responsible for the maintenance if there was an issue that arose, and I'm not aware of any issues.
The maintenance would be something that would be required also of the property owner on the east side of the waterway as well. Is that
Well,
right?
if you're talking for Candlelight Creek, which is located along the east side, basically in this area, that Candlelight Creek is mostly on the other property and doesn't necessarily reflect this property, and maybe this would be the drainage way through here. There may be a portion of an easement that would go and fall on this property, and then maybe down in this area on the property here, but mostly that drainage way is located on this property, which is not part of the plat.
Okay, so the owner of what would become Lot 2 would have very little maintenance requirement except on the south end of that parcel then.
More than likely.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Any additional questions? Commissioner Tallman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to table case F18-02 for one cycle.
Second.
Case number F18-2 has been moved and seconded to be tabled for one cycle. Roll call, please.
Hepner,
Yes.
Kelling,
Yes.
Lammers,
Yes.
Manus,
Yes.
Med,
Yes.
Quinn,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Yes.
Tallman, yes, and Connell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That would conclude subdivision, I take it.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Future business, everyone, it appears as though we've got 3 items, 2 of which were regarding the Elmore Corners. And the third is apparently a subdivision for 58 residential lots on the property formerly owned by Joe Sang. Staff, any other discussion items?
There might be a couple other, I'll say little housekeeping items coming along. I don't know if it'll make the 20th though. I will mention that we've been asked to host a neighborhood meeting next Thursday, 6 o'clock at the Roosevelt Community Center regarding, I'm calling it some implementation activities related to the Rockingham Road corridor, namely possible zoning text amendments.
I see that.
Always you're invited, you are welcome to come, but not mandatory.
And not to participate.
That's the call of the chair.
I see that I've received that there are roughly 600 property owners. I know you kind of misguessed a little bit out at Elmore Corners as to how many people would be there. Do we have enough room are you anticipating a crowd?
I'm not. We will be sending out a notice to that same group. That'd be probably, as I mentioned, plan to be the last notification. I just will point out that in the draft code it says that that urban greenway that, in my opinion, brought out the vast majority of people is in there as kind of there's some optional language in it.
Okay.
Nothing in there that says that it's mandatory.
Thank you, Matt. Any additional comments or thoughts? Seeing nobody in the audience.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned. Please drive home safely.